Getting back to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
This is Fritz. This is Galnick.
Present.
Mr. Gibbons. Present. Ms. Gore.
Here.
Mr. Hutchinson.
Present.
Mrs. Johnson.
Here.
Mrs. Dentino.
Here.
Ms. O'Donnell.
Here. Can I get an approval for the minutes, for the executive session minutes for March 17th, 2025?
So moved.
Mrs. Johnson with the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gore with the second. Can I get a roll call, please? Oh, any questions?
I don't have an answer.
Now you need one. We get a roll call, please.
Mrs. Fritz.
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
Ms. Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Hutchinson.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Dentino.
Yes.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Yes. Can I get a motion for the board minutes of the regular meeting, March 17th, 2025?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Mrs. Gore for the first, Mrs. Johnson for the second. Any questions, Mrs. Dentino?
None.
None? Anyone else? Can I get a roll call, please?
This is Fritz.
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
Ms. Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Hutchinson.
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson.
Yes.
Mrs. Dentino.
Yes.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Yes. Mr. Bilodeau, any additions to the agenda? Any changes?
There are none.
Perfect. Public comments for agenda items only. Anyone want to speak on agenda items? Okay, seeing none. Report of the solicitor, Mr. Long?
I wasn't even in executive session tonight, so I don't have anything.
Okay, then. We need a motion to do committee reports. Committee reports, okay. Yep. Can we, who's the finance committee chair? Not me, Miss. Hi, Mrs.
That would
Gore.
be me.
Can you give us an update on that meeting?
I totally forgot about that meeting.
Oh,
But we did meet last month. Keith Gibbons was present, Nicholas Hutchinson was present, myself, and what's it, Nancy Fritz present for that meeting where we just again discussed it's like upcoming budget issues and items.
I believe you reported on that last month. But
I think we did,
No,
We're being-
two separate ones.
Oh, okay.
but we kind of did the same thing in both meetings.
this
We
was,
covered the kind of the same information.
The previous.
Right.
This time
of
it was.
year.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
perfect. Does anyone have questions about that? No? AI committee meeting? Mrs. Gallivan?
Hi, we met on March 13th and the committee would like a policy that has guardrails accompanied by an AI plan. The committee's focus is to gather information and provide a framework for an AI policy and a plan. Within an AI plan, we want to teach the best practices of AI for teachers and students. We talked about professional development. We focus on the do's and not the don'ts for AIs. In fact, I passed an article on to the committee. And we are researching needs to do continue for ethical use, education purposes, and standards of AI policy. Next meeting, we invited Steve Wells, who is a technology person in the township, Gloucester Township Education, to come. And we also had Mr. Tro do a faculty focus group and a survey. And at our next meeting on Thursday, we'll get some of the results from that. The attendees were myself, Mrs. Hendry, Mr. Hutchinson, Mrs. Fritz, Mr. Bilodeau, and Mr. Tro. And that's it for the AI
Perfect.
committee.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding that?
Was that article you mentioned, is that something you can share with others too?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Could you share it? You have it, right? Mr. Bilodeau will share it. Actually, there is two. I did a copy of one that was in the winter issue of that board of, what's that magazine called? leader, yeah, that there was an article in there. I did copy that for everyone.
Cool, okay.
And then in the spring, there's another article, which I even told everybody to look at.
Okay, thank you.
So I do have the spring magazine in my bag if you want a copy of it.
I might have that also, but I just didn't.
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
there in the magazine.
Prescription.
Thank you. Curriculum meeting? Who's the chair of curriculum?
Okay, that's me
Oh.
also. So I gotta
You're
double
busy.
take here. Yeah. We had, Dr. Christo give us a tour of the humanities in the district, which was very informative. He did a really great job. He talked about, the elementary visual arts and, the band and how, we have a really great music program, in the middle school as well as elementary school. We had, several years back, 57 students in that program, and now it's up to 350. The middle school band also participated in Phillies Day, Phillies Gloucester Township Day, and in Philadelphia, which was great. Yeah, they talked about all the different clubs that they have for the students, the elementary musical shows. They have a middle school music club. And he also shared with us some things in social studies, and we are identified in Gloucester Township as a demonstration district for the TCI program, which is a teacher's curriculum program for social studies. So that was really great, and that was a great presentation that he gave us at the curriculum board. And we had let's see, Mr. Bilodeau, Mr. Tro, Mrs. Fritz, Mr. Hutchinson, Mrs. Johnson, and myself at that meeting.
Perfect, thank you.
Mhm.
Special services, that was,
It wasn't held, Mr. Bilodeau wasn't available that evening, so we rescheduled.
it's postponed.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Buildings and grounds, is that you, Mrs. Johnson?
That's me. We met on March 31st. In attendance were Mr. McCauley, Mr. Umar, Mrs. Dentino, Mrs. O'Donnell, and myself. We had 5 different things that we discussed. Number 1, the sale of the Marinda building. We tried to sell it on our own, but had no takers. We'll contact Wolf Realty to see what they can do with it. They're the same company that sold the Grenlock building. 2, we're installing fencing at C.W. Lewis School. It'll include the area around the bus yard and around the ball field. People are walking across the field during gym classes or games to get to the Wawa. To protect the students, there will be 3 gates there for emergencies. 3, we discussed the possible replacement of ceiling tiles and paint at Lewis and Blackwood. 4, the fob entrance system is original, needs to be replaced on 286 doors. While costly, we have the money in our emergency reserve. 5, camera upgrades. Some schools need more cameras both inside and outside for security purposes. And 6, the ROD grant. We're in the process of installing new heating systems in all the schools. In removing the old ones, we'll need to make sure no asbestos, and if so, must be remediated. We should have air conditioning in both Glen Landing and Lewis gyms by next year. And that's it.
Any questions from the board? Perfect. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
On the sale of the Miranda building, Mrs. Johnson?
Mhm.
Thank you. The sale of the building, did you, as a committee, discuss the, minimum sale price for that building if we give it to, Wolf, as a realtor?
I think at this point,
I think we were
it's,
giving them.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, if they'll give us $1, maybe we'll take it.
Okay, so we're going to see what the, bids come in
Yes,
at.
yes,
Okay, and then the board would entertain that if they want to proceed with the sale.
that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Just to clarify, the last time we looked at that, it was gonna be over $600,000 to demo it, right?
That was like 400.
It was, yeah, it was almost a $500,000, I think.
Right, so taking
Yeah.
$1 is saving
Is-
400,000.
Yeah. We
Just,
were hoping that somebody
499.
would buy it, and then if they wanna build a home or build something, that
Right.
it would save us that money, not demoing it.
right.
And the neighbors also are, we need to be a good neighbor because I've seen the ceiling tile or the roof tiles all over the parking lot and
We've had people come in the past about that.
yes, we have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever we can get for it.
If anything.
We'll take that too.
Report of the superintendent, Mr. Bilodeau.
Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mrs. O'Donnell. Members of the Board of Education, members of the public, welcome to Central Administration. This evening, I'd like to ask for a consent resolution from the Board of Education that would be inclusive of items 7.2A through 7.6K, as in kilo.
Can I get a motion? Mrs. Dentino. Mrs. Johnson, I'm sorry. The one on the other side of the table? Can I get
The
a?
older Mrs. Dentine.
Oh, my-
Older,
Just a little.
like 3 years old.
All right.
No, more than that.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbons. Mr. Gibbons with the second.
Second.
Any questions? I had one, but I can't. I did. I did. No, regarding the field trips. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the Turkey Hill experience. I d- Well, that too. It says Lancaster Amish Village and Turkey Hill Experience. Are we going to get ice cream? Are they making ice cream? Do you have any idea?
I'm hopeful that
It
they'll get
sounds-
ice cream. I don't know the answer to that.
That is Glen Landing.
Experience with-
I know, it's Glen Landing grades 6 and 7 are going. Just saying, it sounds like a good time. That's all.
They've gone before the turkey game.
Touchdown Sunday.
I don't, sounds like a good time to me. Okay, I was just curious if they're making ice cream. They do? Okay, cool. All right. I think we all need a road trip. Just
Want to
saying.
be a chaperone, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Any other questions for? No. We're in Bunbury. Oh, look at Mr. Bilodeau off the hook. No one has questions for you.
I think you should
Wow.
say roll call vote.
Okay, I'm waiting, maybe someone will come up with one. Roll call.
Mrs. Fritz,
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick,
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons,
Yes.
Ms. Gore,
Yes.
Mr. Hutchinson,
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Dentino.
Yes.
Ms. O'Donnell.
Yes. 8.0.
Yes, under 8.0, the report of the business administrator asking for the board's approval of 8.1 through and including 8.7B.
Can I get a motion?
So moved?
Mrs. Johnson,
Second.
thank you, Mrs. Gore with the second. Questions?
The only questions I had was the, like the milk coolers and the, cafeteria equipment, that's gonna help with that money for the.
That's exactly why you see it there. When we went through the audit, we had a bunch of money from the food service operation that we had to spend off. So most of the things you see on there are coming from the food service operation, which does not apply to the budget being July 1. It's there now, and that's, I think by the time we get to June, we'll have the majority of that spent.
Yeah, thank you.
I had a question and I know you answered it via email, but if you could just give me a little bit more specifics. It was the one for the Township of Gloucester. 136,918. That was the check number?
Yeah, it was $11,000 going back to the township. Back in 2019, they provided a drug alliance grant. For some reason, it was unspent here. A portion of it was spent. But every year when we send the audit in, there's a list of grants that are out there that are unspent, and the state asks for it back. So we actually approved it at the last meeting. I sent the check there. And then they told me that it can't come to the Department of Education. It has to come from the municipality. So they sent the check back to me. Now I'm sending another check to the township so they can send it there.
Who then has to send it?
Think of all the people involved in that, but yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
That sounds like government. Yeah.
No other questions? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Fritz,
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick,
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons,
I was a no on check number 136967. And check number 137132, also no, yes on the balance.
thank you. Ms. Gore,
Yes.
Mr. Hutchinson,
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
I'm going to abstain on check number 136985 and 137079. Yes, on the balance.
noted. Ms. Stantino,
Abstain on 8.4B and C, yes on the balance.
8.4B and C. Noted. Mrs. O'Donnell,
I will abstain on check numbers 137001 and 137024. And yes, on the balance.
noted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any old business, Mr. Bilodeau?
Yes, Mrs. O'Donnell, I want to remind the Board of Education that at last month's regular meeting, which was held at Glen Landing Middle School, Mr. Gibbons inquired about the possibility of having a special meeting for the purpose of talking special education concerns and issues. The date has been set for June 2nd of this year at 6 p.m. in this building.
Perfect. Is that it?
It is.
Any new business?
None at this time.
Public comments on any items? Any items? We'll do Mrs. DeLeo first. Come up to the microphone. Oh. Thank you.
Can we lower this? Okay. Dorothy Hope DeLeo, terminated employee of Gloucester Township Schools, 37 years of employment with Gloucester Township, 24 years, 7 months contracted, 5 months away from being contracted and to get my benefits for life. I was terminated on November the 6th, this past year, 2024. I have a couple of questions. I would like to know how Orlando Mercado, the personnel director, and Desiree Mercado, the benefits specialist, are related. I would like to know how Orlando Mercado, the personnel director, and Desiree Mercado, the benefits specialist, are related.
They're unrelated.
They're not related. They
They-
work in the same office. They're not related.
They're not related. They have a same last name, but unrelated.
They have the same last name, but they're not related whatsoever.
Yes. It would be like two Smiths.
I'm sorry. Well, Smith and Mercado were two different names. A lot of people have the last name of
Jones,
Smith.
Mercado. I'm just saying they're not related.
They're not related. Let's see, because nepotism is a big thing. So we're going to, we want to make sure that they're not related, right? So that's what your answer was. Dan, a few months ago, you were absent and your substitute attorney was present. When I went to the microphone to speak, he told me that Dan is handling this and he's not here. Dan, I would like to ask you when you were going to handle this and when are you going to do what's right, Dan? Ignoring this will not make it go away.
So that's a bit of a loaded question, Mrs. DeLeo, but I'm not going to speak to it, and I don't speak to those matters in public.
Okay, so you're not going to speak about that matter in public.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. And I just want to say that tomorrow I have a dental appointment and I will have to pay for it out of my own pocket. Thanks to Mr. Bilodeau taking my benefits away 5 months before I was contracted for life. 5 months before I would have got my benefits for life. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Can you come up to the microphone? Just give us your name and where you're from.
Hello, my name is Alora Johnson and I'm from Sicklerville area. I have a child that's in this school district, and we started out really well. We're now at a point where we believe he's suffering in school. He's not getting the supports that he needs. Instead, it's very punitive towards him. He's a child with a disability. He's looked at as a problem, while ignoring and overlooking his mental health and emotional well-being. He now has school anxiety and depression resulting from a long history of school bullying. He now is having negative responses to these stresses. He's being punished without any real interventions or supports. He feels that his days are overwhelming, and he continues to not want to go to school. His mental health and academics are declining. We have requested homebound instruction. I followed the process on my part, doctor's notes, completed forms, contacted the appropriate people. We're now at week 3 and have not gotten a decision on homebound instruction. I'm doing my part counseling. I've got him neuro assessments. I've taken days off from work to help him with schoolwork that has been sent home by teachers. Just as a child with an IEP, my concern that he's regressing. The other thing is just, I find it a little disappointing that at the end of the year, I'm supposed to review his progress. And I don't think he's making any progress. And my concern is that I'm just losing confidence in the leadership at this point, that they know how to navigate. And this is supposed to be a positive climate, safe space for him. I send my child for 35+ hours during the week to the school, and I'm just really afraid for his mental health and his well-being. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bilodeau, I'm just going to request that you work closely with the family to get the best possible outcome for the kid, for the student.
Understood.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Any other public comments on anything? Hi, come on up. Let us know who you are. Where you from?
I'm Anthony Faso from Blackwood.
Hi, Anthony.
I spoke actually with Mr. Bildo, probably about 2 weeks ago. So, just wrote a couple things down. I've had children in the CW Lewis School for the last 4 years, and the bullying and violence just seems to not stop. My son's currently a 7th grader, and in the last 2 years, he's been victimized 7 times. Last year was a tough year for him. He's a small child for his age and was punched and put in the locker in the boys' locker room. He did not feel like he could tell because of the aftermath would be worse. My son had been diagnosed with ADHD and impulse control issues. He's been getting the proper treatment for the last 6 years, but the constant antagonizing has taken their toll, and he started to fight back. He was suspended 3 times last year for defending himself against a bully. We as parents understand that you cannot take matters into your own hands, and he accepted his punishment, and we made it very clear that it will not be tolerated in our house. Since he stopped defending himself, the bullying has grown immensely. The end of last year, I received a call from my son that 3 kids were threatening to jump him. These kids have even come to our home. We met with Mr. Carmichael to work out what we needed to do to keep our children safe. The next day, I received yet another terrifying call. He called us. He was cornered in the bathroom. Had my son not had his phone, I don't know what could have happened. The last day of school, my son came home informing him that a child gripped him up and shoved him down. Again, we met with Mr. Carmichael and saw for ourselves that this kid did indeed attack our son. Being it was the last few days of school, they just secluded my child. Why was our child punished for being the victim? Let's fast forward to this year. My wife and myself did what we needed to do as parents to ensure our son would not be suspended again. He's working very hard to get into CCTS. He has glowing reports from his new teachers about how he has matured over the summer. Less than a month ago, my son was assaulted in the lunchroom. A child crept up on him, slammed his head into a concrete wall, and proceeded to punch him in the back of the head. Our son ended up in the emergency room that night with a slight concussion over rumors. The emergency doctor stated that the assault could have been so bad that that this child should be expelled. And I agree. The kids at Lewis are not afraid of suspension. I have seen firsthand the blatant disrespect in the office. We need better punishments for these events. We need parents to be involved and held accountable. I have seen kids coming back from suspension and not lasting a week in school before they're suspended again. Why are these families of all the children involved meeting to get to the root of these issues? Why aren't we talking out the problems? We need to make it harder on the parents so they have no other choice than to discipline their kids. Make parents miss work for meetings or find a new school for their child. What is it going to take before we do something? I don't want to see another child hurt or even killed because we're not doing everything possible. So.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments. A lot of that's very disturbing to hear. We would really love a safe environment for every one of our children.
Correct.
And so I'll have a conversation with Mr. Bilodeau on what we can do moving forward. I know that we are following the discipline policy, correct? I know the board just redid the entire discipline policy. Our administrators, teacher, everyone's supposed to be following it. So I'm hoping that that's happening.
I
So
believe
that's
it's being
also
followed.
okay.
It's just, I don't feel like it needs to be harsher.
Yeah.
I hear you. Well, that's the board's job. So you're in the right place.
So,
Policies are our job. So.
I mean, last week a child was curb stomped in gym. He was doing a push-up.
Okay.
He went right there like that on his head.
I don't know what curb stomp means, but thank you.
That's what
I get, yeah, I got it.
That's what they did.
Yeah, that's,
I mean, this is the stuff. I mean, it's not like a typical fight, like when we were like, I
Right.
graduated, I was in the 90s. You know, we had fights, once in a while.
right. And then
You
you
know,
were
that
done,
was
right?
it.
And
It
that
was
was
it.
it. Y'all
This-
fought
this
and it was
is-
fine.
This is going extreme now, though.
I got it. Mr. Bilodeau, you want to add
I
something?
did. Mr. Fazio, welcome to the Board of Education. I wish it was under different circumstances. As you know, we spoke extensively.
We did.
I hope your son is better this evening.
Yes.
And he was respectful and upset as a dad would be. And I heard him about the more, more intense discipline that may be considered by the Board of Education via policy. I do know that Mr. Tro and I, in each of the last few years, have been encouraging the board to look at the policy and do tweaks over the summer and put in a new device. So I think coming here, and I guess truth be told to the board, I did encourage Mr. Fazio to come here tonight because he was saying about the type of disciplines they're not going far enough for certain students. And I said, you should come and speak. And so it's my fault that you're here, but I appreciate you coming out and letting the board know respectfully your concerns.
Mhm. Thank you. And I know I'm on the policy committee. I might even be the chair of that committee. I'm not sure. No, you're the chair. Yes.
Waiting my turn
So,
before
perfect. Go ahead.
but-
If you
No,
want to add.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think we should pull it out and revisit it. When does it get printed for the year? Like that has to be, we have enough time?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
meet
I mean, you
soon.
said, like first offense, second offense, is there anything in there for something extreme, like?
Yeah,
Like,
policy
these are-
and the guidepost, yeah, exactly, extreme circumstances,
Yeah.
you can always, because there's no two
Yeah.
exactly the same.
When, just a question, I think I know the answer, but when kids go to the homes like that, doesn't the parents have the opportunity to get the police involved at that point?
Well, and certainly like that, everybody should be.
Yeah.
Certainly we as the school,
Sure.
on something like that where it rises to the level of criminal
right.
behavior. I mean, that's why we have the SROs, and I'm not saying what
Yeah.
did or did not happen in any one instance, but
Yeah.
yeah, of course, law enforcement's always an option for that kind of matter, Mrs. Stantino.
What I've found also is it's frustrating that the law stops us from being able to impose.
Yep.
Certain.
Sometimes.
You wanna have, stricter discipline, but your hands are tied.
But we're gonna maximize every outcome. we
Yeah.
can.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll definitely do whatever we can. I appreciate you coming to let us know.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
your,
Yeah.
your
Sorry you're
experience.
going through that.
Any other comments from the public? Hi. Just
I'm-
name and about where you're from. I don't want your address.
I'm Maria Visco. I'm actually one of the BCBAs for the district. I
Hey.
work mostly at Union Valley. I support our autism, MD, and PSD classrooms there. Happy Autism Advocacy Month. I'm here because I saw in last month's board meeting that there's been discussion about how to fade out the services of Brett Denovi and Associates. So if that's something you're truly planning on doing, I just want to make sure you're aware of all the services that BDA really does apply to Union Valley. I'm sure you're aware that their staff are paid a higher rate. They are able to accrue PTO. They are provided with health insurance. However, in addition to that, before they even step foot in our buildings, they're given 3 hours of hands-on training in a mock classroom by BDA, where they learn about behavior management systems and reinforcement systems. They're able to shadow for a minimum of 1 day, another staff member in a classroom all day, so that they understand what their roles and responsibilities would be when they come into the classroom. Once they're on board with us, then they're provided with 2 additional levels of oversight. One is what's called an OBC, and he will come in and provide behavior support for students in our most challenging settings and provide extra training for staff. And then they have their own BCBAs who come in. Their BCBAs will collaborate with me, and I'll explain to them any new behavior intervention plans, reinforcement systems, things like that happening, so that when I can't be in a specific classroom, they're in there training their staff on that. They're able to provide the recommended 5% of supervision hours for any registered behavior technicians or RBTs, which most of their staff are or are in the process of becoming. So they provide a lot more than just aides in a classroom. So I just want to make sure that we're all aware of that as we plan for it, because I have been in this district for almost 10 years. And the difference in our population that we serve at Union Valley is pretty significant. We love our students. I am not in any way saying that I think they should go to a different setting. We are committed. You have a team at Union Valley who works really hard and very compassionately to meet the needs of these students. I just want to make sure that we're able to continue to do that in an effective and safe way. So I look forward to hearing your plan for fading out BDA and making sure that we still have the supports in place at Union Valley to service our students.
Thank you. I also invite you to come to the June 2nd meeting, where we'll be openly discussing all kinds of stuff, special services. So, and I actually asked Dr. Martin to set me up with a date to come visit some classrooms. So I'd like to do that really
There's
soon.
one I really want her to see in that school.
Mr. Gibbons.
Really want her to see.
Mr. Gibbons showed an interest as well. If there's any other board members who are interested in visiting one of the classrooms, let me know, and I'm sure Dr. Martin will facilitate it. Yeah.
And Mrs. Dono, if I may.
You may.
It's not phasing out.
Yeah.
It is
No.
ensuring what we have now in the services we have in Santa Maria, you know why this means a ton to me. So it is making sure that we can get the same level of service or even better in the most efficient way possible. And if that's BDA, great. It's just as a board, that's what I think this group is looking at more than anything.
Yeah,
else.
Yeah,
let's
we're
just find
certainly
out
not
what-
looking,
compromise
we do
whatsoever.
not want to cut services for kids, and
Not
we
at all.
don't want to send them out of districts. We want to keep them here. I promise,
It's
that's
to
not
find
our
out
goal.
what, how hands are tied and how we can free them up and make things better. It's not fading anything out, is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Gibbons.
May I ask a question?
During
save for
board member
comment.
comments?
Yeah.
Any other? Yes, hi.
So can I pass this around?
Sure.
I'm gonna piggyback off Maria. I'm
Okay.
Heather Hagan.
Hi,
I'm
Heather.
the K1 autism teacher at Union Valley. First, Mr. Billo, thank you for our awesome fence on the playground. We're all safe. And Ms. Dentino, thank you for your recent visit. I am sending for everyone some data collection that my staff does every single day. This will give you an idea of the work we're doing every day. It's a very, very small glimpse into what we're doing in the classroom. This does not include data collection for academics, individual IEP goals. It doesn't include the cleaning of the individual work spaces every day, chasing kids through the halls, and physical components that you can see that I just gave to you. It also doesn't include lunches, snacks, student programming, and endless reports, changing diapers, and so on. My day often does not start at 8:20. It often starts by the time I walk out my door at 6:50. I've received 1 or 2 messages from parents about difficulties in the night or the morning. Um, this will usually carry into the bus or the car ride. When we open our doors at 8:20, we're often greeted by students having difficulties in the car or bus drivers asking for assistance. Not only does this start the day for us in the BCBA, but also our staff jumping into action. Our classrooms have challenges that you don't understand until you come see it, and I'm asking everyone to come see what we as an amazing team are doing every day. I started in my classroom in November of 2011, and I can count on one hand how many people have walked in our halls, walked in our classes, our doors, or even asked us questions. I, along with the rest of the team, are extending an invite, which you just answered, to come see us and the kids we work with every single day. I watch your board meetings every month and listen to the questions you have, so please come see us and it will answer so many of your questions. Without our staff, our classrooms would not exist effectively. Denovi comes to us with endless support for our staff, subs, which ensure we can continue to deliver programming with fidelity, and staff that works through lunches when needed, and people to assist with training. I have been here long enough to see our change in our needs of our students and the level of support we as a program require to continue to service our kiddos effectively. I could talk all day about our program, which I'm proud to be a part of, and I could try to convince you all day about the needs of our program and how hard everyone works, but we don't have time for that. So for April, which is Autism Acceptance Month, I ask you to spend time with me, our other teachers, and our amazing kids.
Thank you.
Are you also Union Valley?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's where we need to visit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you I appreciate your dedication to our kids, our schools. Thank you. Okay. Oh, first. Love that. Okay. Any other public comments?
Hi.
Hi.
I am Nicole Realdine. I
Nicole.
also work at Union Valley with Maria and Heather. I have been there for 3 years. I am a behavioral support tech. Was going to do my RBT and decided not to go through with that because Brett Denovi requires all of their staff to be RBTs. So I chose not to. On the heels of what they were talking about as far as Brett Denovi goes, I know personally I do the same exact job, if not more than what they do, and I know that I get paid significantly less than they do. I am not a full-time employee. I am not contracted. I get 2.5 PTO days, which I had to use my own time when I almost had a broken hand in December. So you guys keep me like right under where I need to be every week. And I kind of think, at the end of the day, I don't get offered benefits. So what's fair is fair. I love the classroom that I'm in. I love the environment that I work in, but I feel like I should be supported a little bit more. The team that we have does an amazing job with that, with me. So I really do appreciate where I am and what I'm doing. I just don't feel like I'm given everything that I need at the end of the day. Our kids are a lot to handle. As they've told you, if you come in and see for yourself and check them out, come hang out with us for the day. They are some amazing little kids, but they have some struggles at the same time, and we're required to do that job. I'm not being paid to do that job.
I hear you. Awesome. I appreciate you coming out and also invite you on June 2nd when we
Yes.
have this discussion that I would love to get your insight as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Oh, and I do. I also live in Sicklerville.
All right.
Anyone else? Comments? Close the public portion. Thank you all. That's my favorite part of the meeting.
It is?
It is.
Since when?
Stop it. No. Board member comments? Yes.
Just a question, actually, I'll ask Nicole.
We should just direct, because the way we have it, we just direct everything through our chair, the board president, so.
Yeah. What you got?
Sure. So I would like to know if she has to have yearly continuing education units, CEUs.
No.
No. Does Brett Denovi require that, do we know?
Can we, I'm
I
sorry.
think that's maybe a better offline discussion.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we'll do that on the,
Yeah.
we'll do all of that on the second.
Okay, got it.
An RBT is a registered.
Can no one can hear you is the problem. Can we, yeah, but I'd rather you use the handheld so your back is not to the audience because we're talking to them as well. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you.
So, you can get any information and I encourage you to go online and it's the board, it's what is the title again for, it's a board certified BACB. BACB. On that, webpage, everything that you need to know about a BCBA, a BCABA, RBT. These are not our requirements. They are the Applied Behavior Analysis Organization's requirements for children or people who are working with children with significant needs.
Yeah.
It's a regulation. It's just like the Board of Nursing.
Sure.
Sure.
So,
Can you just email us all that link on where we can go and just read on that?
sure,
I would appreciate that.
Sure,
All right.
thank
I want to
you.
move on just because it's board member comments and
appreciate it.
anyone.
I just
Yeah.
wanna Thank everyone for the special.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just wanted to say, I really was touched by the story about your son and the bullying, and I will support, our president here in, taking care of that, because that's a terrible way to go to school, so I really will be an advocate for that here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll echo that too. You hear that story way too often and we need to do something. I don't know exactly what that is, but.
Agreed.
we need to
Well, start
discuss
with
it.
policy. That's
Right.
where we start.
I guess while I'm speaking, also. The June 2nd meeting, I'd love for you guys to come out and talk and be a part of that as well. Again, it's not to fade anything out, it's to help it get better.
Mhm.
What else did I have? I guess it was about a week ago or so, we had the recognition dinner that Ms. Johnson and I attended. That was really nice. That was pretty much about it. Thanks for coming out.
Sorry, my list is a little bit longer. Sorry. I wanted to, first I have to thank the AI committee and Mrs. Galanek for what they're doing in there. When I did that committee, it's a board goal. Looking at AI in the schools is one of the board goals for this year, and they have gone above and beyond anything I could have imagined how that committee would go. And it's so comprehensive and so in detail, and just, you guys are knocking it out of the park. And I just wanted to acknowledge you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Bilodeau and I attended the honors and chorus concert, which was always a good time. Not the very talented kids, but we couldn't stop watching the music teacher conducting the choir, which was just so stinking entertainment, entertaining. It was really a good time. And is it the honors band or is it the entire band that gets to play? They play the national anthem at the Phillies every year.
Yep.
Which is kind of a cool thing to do. I don't love baseball, and my kids did that. So it was probably a terrible 5 years of my life that I had to go watch them play the national anthem, but it's cool for the kids. It's so cool for the kids. I wanted to say good luck to the middle school athletes that hopefully qualify and are attending the Penn Relays from all three middle schools. I wanted to congratulate the support staff, award winners. Unfortunately, I work in a tax office. That happened way too close to tax time, as is this. So I'm going back to work, but I just wanted to thank them for their exceptional service. And then a little bit of housekeeping. The board needs to do their financial disclosures. They're due on April 30th. You got emails. I'm probably the only one that didn't do mine, but if you could check and get that done, that would be great. I'm also asking Mr. Bilodeau to, in his super notes, share with the board members, the other board members' phone numbers. So we all have each other's phone numbers and we can all be in contact. If that's a problem for anyone, let me know, and we'll just then share your address instead.
And social security.
And social security number.
You will not.
Okay, so
We'll go back to exec,
we
sure.
are going back into exec, I know, but I need that page, sorry.
Gotcha. So we're at,
Can I get a motion first and then you can?
yep,
Cool, thanks.
do it.
Can I get a motion to go back into exec?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Johnson. Can I get a second? Oh, thank you, Mr. Gibbons.
So we have 3 items still to discuss. There will be no action. We will be simply coming out of the meeting to adjourn. So with that, if you do your all in favor.
Awesome. All in favor? Perfect. Thank you guys for coming out.